Hey guys, how's it going? Gonna go live in 1 minute live right now. Thank you very much, everybody who's tuning in. I first of all just want to give a massive shout out to everybody who tuned in last night. Have never done one of these before, but it was fantastic. Had 162 concurrent viewers. We have a lot of momentum. This is awesome. So I have pinned to the top of the chat the Discord. I set up the Discord today, so pinned there. You should be able to see it. There's a link because we really need to start getting organized, speaking with one another, fleshing out our ideas, fleshing out our policies. And if I'll give how's it going, guys? Yeah, so I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for people to jump in. But to start with, you'll see pinned. You should be able to see pinned. Let me know, anybody, if they're not able to see it. Pinned to the top of the chat, I've set up a Fight for Canada Discord because if we're seriously going to make an impact, there's no doubt in my mind that we need a Discord. We need to be able to talk one another because it's beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have a lot of enthusiastic people here who are concerned with the exact same issues. And I don't doubt that we can have a massive impact on this country. We need to have a massive impact on this country, but we need to be organized. I think the best way to go about doing that is to jump in a Discord. If we're having any issues, I was also reading about the fact that Telegram may be a good option, but absolutely, I think Discord is a great way to start. And well, today what I want to talk about mainly is immigration, but I just got a good chuckle for those of you who saw my last post on the CBC. About 6 months ago, they ran a segment in which they were recommending that Canadians go to Mexico rather than the United States of America because of their Trump derangement syndrome. And I was just pointing out how's that working out for them. For those of you, I'm sure the majority of you have seen the footage. Now there are, unsurprisingly, cartel wars that have broken out in Mexico. There are estimates of up to 30,000 Canadians currently being stranded in Mexico. And the CBC was literally just running oh, wow, you have family in Mexico right now. Are they sheltered in place? Based on what I've read, it seems as though the majority of Canadians are sheltered in place right now. Crazy, sheltered in place right now. And the CBC was running pieces. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Like I said, last night was fantastic. We had 164 people concurrent. I think there's a lot of momentum. I'm going to keep mentioning this to start off, but pinned at the top of this chat is our Discord channel. So if you want to jump in there, that's fantastic, because in our Discord, I think we're going to be able to organize, figure out our best plan of attack, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how many of you guys saw, but Pierre Poilievre put out a video today on what he wants to do immigration-wise. And as far as I'm concerned, they are essentially controlled opposition. They are essentially controlled opposition. Yeah, of course. No, I'm so excited. So just to let you guys know, I'm thinking in terms of these live streams, what I want to start doing is making this a more consistent thing. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I think that what makes the most sense is to maybe do something like Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday nights at 7. Maybe you guys can let me know if that timing makes sense to you guys, but I was thinking Wednesday, Friday, Sunday at 7 o'clock. Make it a regular thing. Make it a strategy session, because I want to kind of table this off of what Restore Britain did. They are surging in the polls right now, and Rupert Lowe's Restore Britain, they already have 80,000 signatures. 80,000 people have already signed up for the Restore Britain Party, and they just launched a week ago. And it is my belief that a lot of the issues that we are seeing in Canada are the exact same issues that we're seeing in Britain. And we need a party that's willing to come out there and actually shift the Overton window, because we all know that the Liberal Party of Canada, when it comes to immigration, they're not going to change. The Liberal Party of Canada is not going to change. They're going to keep the floodgates open. They're going to keep spending $1 billion a year. They're going to keep inviting 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million people into the country. They're going to continue the temporary foreign worker program. And as bad as the temporary foreign worker program, the immigration mobility program is actually much worse than the temporary foreign worker program. It has nearly 2 million people on it right now. At least with the temporary foreign worker program, people need to, employers who hire new arrivals need to provide some sort of a justification for why it is that they have to hire the temporary foreign worker. On the immigration mobility program, which has nearly 1.8 million people on it, a justification does not even have to be provided. You can just hire an immigrant over a Canadian. No justification whatsoever is needed. And this is the largest issue in Canada. So before I get into immigration, I just want to give a massive shout out to everybody who tuned in last night, to everybody who provided a super chat. This is funding this movement. This is a ground up movement. I have the Discord. The Discord link is up at the top. I want everybody who's enthusiastic to jump into that Discord so that we can strategize with one another. Dr. Indy, what's up, man? Thank you so much, everybody who's jumping in here. So, for those who haven't seen I posted on reclaimcanada.ca an immigration proposal. What we need to actually do immigration-wise is the no-brainer is that there needs to be a total moratorium on immigration. No people coming in for the next 5 years at least. And then the most conservative estimates say that there are 500,000 people in this country right now illegally on expired visas. Now, it's my estimation that that number is likely closer to, it could be as high as 4 million people, 2 million people. What we have to do is put the funds in, divert funds in order to remove the people who are here illegally. Exactly. We need to deport them now. It's in all likelihood, I think it's about 2 million people here who are in the country illegally, and these people need to be removed. The Liberal Party of Canada absolutely refuses to put any funding into the deportation. And for people who talk about the fact, they say, oh, it's too expensive. I've run the numbers. If we were to deport conservatively 1 million people over the next 3 years, let's say 300,000 people a year, which in all honesty is less than we need to deport, it would be such a massive money saver. We are spending billions of dollars a year right now, billions of dollars a year on immigrants. The reason that the youth unemployment rate is so goddamn high, the youth unemployment rate, particularly among males, is the highest that it's ever been in our history. And the reason is because they can gaslight us, they can lie to us all that they want. The reason that that number is so high is because we all walk around, we all go to stores. It's because go into your local Costco, go into your local Tim Hortons. It's all mostly Indians. It's clearly all new arrivals to this country who are getting these jobs. And the Liberal Party of Canada is literally subsidizing them. What many people are not aware of is the fact that the Liberal Party of Canada offers to subsidize frequently between 50 to 67% of the salary of new arrivals into this country. So if I'm a business owner and somebody's offering to pay 50 to 70% of their salary, it's an absolute no-brainer. So that program needs to be totally eliminated. We need to get rid of the program that incentivizes people to hire new arrivals to this country. Well, why possibly would a government exist unless it exists to serve the people of that country, the people whose posterity fought to defend this country? Yeah, I mean, you walk around they can lie to us all that they want about immigration. Anybody who's lived in Canada for their entire life, walk into a Tim Hortons, walk into a Costco, walk into any business, and you're going to see all over the place, it's all new arrivals. It's mainly Indians, Middle Easterners. It's absolutely insanity when you walk into these places. It's like in Japan, Why is it in Canada that we need to be so tolerant of this, but in every other country, they're allowed to protect their culture? Japan had 1 year of mass immigration. Japan had 1 year of allowing, I believe, about 200,000 people in, and they elected the furthest right prime minister that they've ever had. The furthest right prime minister that they've ever had. It's only Western countries. It's only Christian countries. It's only the UK, Canada, Australia, where we need to, where they say that, oh, you're a racist, you're a sexist, whatever it is about immigration. And it's the craziest thing is that the craziest thing is that white people, in terms of the population around the world, are such a small percentage. Thanks everybody for jumping in. I just want to put a reminder. I have pinned to the top of the chat the link to our Discord, to the Fight for Canada Discord, because we need to start getting organized and we need to start shifting the Overton window, the conversation around immigration in this country. And the only way we do that is if we start to get organized, because the Conservatives, as far as I'm concerned, as I've mentioned on many occasions, are essentially controlled opposition. They don't talk about remigration. They don't talk about the number of absolutely false so-called refugee claims that have happened over the past 11 years under the Liberal Party of Canada. Awesome. Great, Danny. Thank you so much for signing up on Discord. Yeah, everybody, the Discord is linked up at the top. Please sign up. We can keep chatting in there, and then I'll let you know every single time that I'm going live. But one of the most serious issues, absolutely. I'm not blessed. I know God's on our side. Absolutely. So one of the most serious issues in our immigration system is the fact that there are so many phony, absolutely phony asylum claims that have been made over the past 11 years. The way the system was actually set up, if somebody working in the immigration office approved somebody, there was no justification needed. But if you, under Justin Trudeau, wanted to shut down a refugee claim, you had to provide a multi-page write-up on why that claim was denied. It's crazy. They made it nearly impossible to refuse refugee claims. And we're talking about letting people come in from the most. I'm in Montreal. I'm in Quebec, guys. I live in Old Montreal. I had been in Ottawa for the past year, and I just moved back to Montreal. Ottawa is absolutely insane. You walk 10 blocks right away, literally 2 blocks away from the Parliament building. Oh, sorry. Is there an ad running? My apologies. 10 blocks, 2 blocks away from Parliament building. It's all crack smoking. I kid you not. It's 10 blocks straight of crack smoking. What we need to do in this country is we need to totally overhaul the immigration system. And in order to, in my opinion, shift the you're in Montreal, that's great. In order to shift the Overton window, we need to push the conversation. We need to make it normal in Canada to talk about remigration, to talk about a moratorium on immigration, make as much noise on social media as possible, because we know definitively that, my apologies. We know definitively that the mainstream media will not report whatsoever on what's actually going on in this country. And they won't report on those of us in Canada who want a moratorium on immigration, which I believe is the vast majority of the population. So we need to make as much noise as possible and let them know there is a vocal and massive number of Canadians who are in support of remigration, who are in support of a total moratorium. Absolutely, it's an insult to those who came here legally. And you know who benefits from this mass immigration? You know who it is? You know who it is who benefits? It's guys like Mark Carney and Brookfield Asset Management who benefit like crazy. They benefit off of, hey, from Halifax, 100%. Yes. The Fight for Canada Party, we are officially registered, and I will mention this in the Discord. I need 3 people. When we're officially registered, I need 3 people to sign up to join the team. So I'll be mentioning it in the Discord. But if you're actually interested in joining the Fight for Canada Party and the team, let's talk about it in Discord, because I'm building this from the ground up. And of course, we're going to need other people running in order to make noise on social media. I need other people who are willing to help me with graphics, with clips. I want to turn this into a serious professional organization. So I'll talk about it more in the Discord, but I need at least 3 people to be officers for the Fight for Canada party, at least 3 people to be officers for the Fight for Canada party, an auditor, and more people to run in races, because I know in Canada, as I said, my objective is to base this off of the Reform UK not Reform UK, the Restore Britain party. And in the first week of Restore Britain being up and running, they had 80,000 people who signed up. And I know that there's a massive appetite in Canada. I know that there's a massive appetite in Canada for the message. Absolutely. I can contact you. Everybody who's not aware, join the Discord. The Discord is there in the top right corner. But the idea is that we want to get rid of the 1 to 2 million people. It may well be more than that, but my estimation is there are 1 to 2 million people who are in this country on expired visas. It's actually hilarious. You see them protesting out in the streets, asking to stay. It's become a total joke. There are 4 million Canadians, at least 4 million Canadians right now, who are using food banks. Drew Cove, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it, Drew. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everybody who supports with super chats. Thank you so much. This funds the movement. This allows me to continue to put the amount of effort that's going to be necessary to fight for Canada to take this country back. Thank you, Drew. Really appreciate it. And I know we are going to win with 100% certainty. We are absolutely going to win. We are going to take this country back. I know there's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them, but thank you, everybody who subscribed. Thank you so much. There are a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them, but we need to start getting organized in order to get this movement going. Yeah, I'm really sorry. There's 4 million people right now. 4 million Canadians right now are using food banks on an annual basis, and we are spending over $1 billion a year on immigrants. Immigrants, I have the documentation. They're eligible immediately upon entering this country to receive $240 a day. Are you kidding me? They should not be receiving a single penny when we have Canadians who cannot afford to live. The only reason for a government to exist is to serve the people who elected them. That's the only reason. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make flyers. I'm going to make Fight for Canada flyers. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody. 1.5 billion per year. That's exactly right. The CBC gave themselves a $150 million raise in 2026. Their numbers are worse than it's ever been on YouTube. For those who haven't seen, they don't even keep their comments open. You literally cannot make a comment on a YouTube video on CBC. And they gave themselves a $150 million raise. They now receive $1.5 billion a year from the Canadian taxpayer. Flyers are a fantastic idea. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start making flyers, get the website up. And like I said, the reason I want to set up the Discord is because anybody who wants to support, another massive piece is going to be on social media, because we know that on mainstream media, on the CBC, on CTV, the only time they're ever going to mention a moratorium on immigration, the only time that they're going to mention remigration is going to be when they call us racist. And to be honest, in the year 2026, I don't think that anybody cares anymore. I literally don't think anybody cares anymore. This is the country on the line, the country that we know and love. Right now, we have 2 million Muslims in this country with values that are incompatible with Canadian values, many of them. Many of them treat women as second-class citizens. I've been tracking the hate rallies on our streets over the past 2.5 years. We have brought in so many people that hate this country. And what exactly do you think it's going to look like? What do you think it's going to look like when in 5-10 years, we've allowed millions more people into this country? It's going to be a white minority country, and the values, the free speech values, this country was founded on Christian values, are going to be gone. It's going to be gone. Like it's now or never. It's literally now or never. They will introduce Sharia law. For those of you who haven't seen, In New York, they just elected a socialist mayor. They elected a socialist mayor, Zoran Mamdani. And now in downtown New York, there are these huge streets getting shut down. We saw the exact same thing in Toronto. There are streets getting shut down, and this so-called Muslim call to prayer in the middle of New York City. Can you even imagine after 9/11? Can you imagine if people had told you that 25 years later there was going to be the Muslim call to prayer on the right on New York streets? I don't think anybody would have believed it. They would have said, you're delusional, you're crazy. There's absolutely no way that that's happening. But it's happening, and it's happening in Canada too. It's the exact same thing that's happening in Toronto. And just walk around. I never used to see it. Now, everywhere you go, you see burqas all over the place, women in full garb. Cunningham Bear, thank you so much for the super chat. Cunningham Bear, thank you so much for the super chat. Your super chats, your support are what allow me to put, I'm working 10, 12 hours a day on this. It's what supports this movement, what allows me to put the effort in, because we are fighting to save Canada. Thank you so much. You're exactly right. Mohammed right now is the #1 name in Alberta. I kid you not. In Alberta, in one of the most conservative provinces in this country, Mohammed is now the #1 name. You're exactly right. Canada does need Rupert Lowe. That's what I'm trying to mold the Fight for Canada party on, is Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain. I know I've already mentioned it a couple times, but they got 80,000 signups. Rupert Lowe got 80,000 signups in his first week. And I am sure there's that type of interest in Canada, because the exact same issues with immigration that they are seeing in the UK is what they're seeing in Canada. Yeah, can Trump pull a Maduro here? 100%. That would be fantastic. Look at it. Carney just said he's going on another 10 days, so-called trade chip. Carney is working for the CCP. Carney is working for Qatar. Carney is working for Brookfield Asset Management. Carney is not working on behalf of the Canadian people. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt. This man could give a damn about the Canadian people. Inflation in Canada since Carney was elected, exactly. It's not the immigrants that I'm mad at. It's our government. It's the government policies. And literally more and more people are coming out now and admitting that the immigration policies that Justin Trudeau had, it's harder to not allow somebody in from one of the most dangerous areas of the world than it is to allow somebody in. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, Canada is going to cease to exist. Canada is going to cease to exist as we know it with these immigration rates, allowing 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million people into the country here. We already know that Mark Carney and the Liberal Party of Canada, in all likelihood, would not have won the election had they not allowed 7 million people into the country in the last decade. They're invaders. Yes, that Carney statement, Muslim values are Canadian values. Are you effing kidding me? Has he read our Charter of Rights and Freedoms? It literally mentions, it's such a joke when he says Muslim values are Canadian values. We need to get rid of colonization. And that's the point that I always bring up. We are being colonized right now. Canada is being colonized right now, but nobody can say it. Everybody wants to act like it's the big bad white man. White men are a massive majority. White people are a massive majority around the world. And they try to act like that's not the case. You'd never see this in Japan. You'd never see this in the Middle East. You'd never see this type of absolute phooey that says that if you want to protect your culture, we have an open border policy. Absolutely. The Fight for Canada party will call our policy. And I'm going to put a link, guys, so you guys can take a look right now. I officially have a 16-page PDF out right now on our immigration policy. I've just dropped it in the chat. The immigration policy, 16-page immigration policy, because there's no doubt that we can have an moratorium on immigration. Look at what's happening in the States. Look at what's happening in Australia. They are imposing moratoriums on immigration. Donald Trump totally shut down immigration into the United States of America, and they're deporting people. They're doing the exact same thing in Australia. It's not a question of whether or not it can get done. It's simply a question of will. And of course, we know the Liberal Party of Canada will never have the will. It's my estimation that the Conservative Party of Canada does not have the will either. So we need a party that even if it will obviously be incredibly difficult to come to power ourselves. We need a party that shifts the Overton window, that changes the discussion, because the country will literally cease to exist. Yes, but people are fighting back. People are absolutely fighting back. So there's between 500,000 and 2 million people on expired visas. We need to, right now, the Liberal Party of Canada is spending a couple $1 million a year. We need to be willing to invest billions of dollars into detention facilities and into the Canadian equivalent of ICE agents who will go around and remove the people. Because we already know, if you listen to these recent arrivals, they'll speak on the radio, they'll go on podcasts, and they'll tell us 100% that they are not leaving. They literally come out and they say they are going to break our laws and they are not going to leave. We know that the Liberal Party of Canada will not do anything to remove these people, so we need to divert the funds. Justin Trudeau spent $11 billion during his time as Prime Minister on gender studies overseas, is what he called it. Gender studies overseas. So we need to take that money, we need to divert it. All this woke propaganda BS, all this woke BS needs to stop, and we need to divert those funds. It's just a matter of where you're spending the money. And the place that we need to spend the money is on removing the people from the country who haven't been here. And they're an economic drag on us. It's undeniable. We spent $1 billion in 2025 on immigration, $1 billion. I want to give a massive shout out to everybody who's tuned in. We have 89 live right now. We had 164 last night. Massive shout out to everybody who sent in super chats. This is what allows me to put the effort into this. Thank you so much. And I know that we have millions of Canadians who will support our policies. It's beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion. Yeah, Olivia Chow for PM. My God, I don't know if you guys saw, but the NDP just had their leadership race. And I'm wondering what type of brain defects these people have. It's truly insane. Like, can people not read a history book? We have out in the open communists running for power in Canada. Read a history book. Look at what happened in the 70s. Look at what happened in the 80s. Look at how many people wound up gone because of communism. We know how destructive it is to society. Christ is king. And Enoch Powell was exactly correct. Enoch Powell is brilliant. Anybody who has an opportunity to watch Enoch Powell, watch him. And for the modern day movement, I want to table this off of, I think Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain are doing a fantastic job right now. I was a fan of Reform UK and Nigel Farage, but then Rupert Lowe came out and he started talking about how, amen, God bless everybody. Rupert Lowe came out and he started talking about how we needed deportations. And then for some reason, I have absolutely no idea why, Farage threw a conniption and threw him out of the party. But deportations are exactly what we need. Deportations are exactly what we need in Canada. We need to get rid of the people who shouldn't be here. If a government does not exist primarily to look out for the citizens in their country, then they shouldn't exist. And I know there's a lot of momentum for this in Canada because I know that we have the same fighting spirit. My ancestors came here from Scotland. One of my ancestors got PTSD after World War II and wound up gone. They fought to defend this country for their posterity. They did not fight to let 1 billion Middle Easterners and Indians into the country, many of whom absolutely hate Canada. I mean, just look at the out and out hate rallies that we have on our streets for 2.5 years, and they are literally protected by the government. Yeah, Rupert is going full on Farage. Yeah, Farage, I don't know what Farage is doing because I love Lowe, and I think the policies I've gone through Rupert Lowe's policies, and they're fantastic. Here's another for others that didn't catch it. I'm going to put in the chat the Fight for Canada immigration policy. I put together a 16-page PDF because obviously, if we're going to be a serious party, we need to have these policy proposals. And in my estimation, immigration is the most important issue in Canada right now. There's no doubt about it. Immigration is the most important issue, and we need to have serious policy proposals. So I put together a 16-page immigration policy that walks through exactly how we are going to fund the ICE agents, the detention centers needed in this country, and how we're going to go about removing people. So when we get up on a debate stage, we can actually walk people through our exact policies, exactly how we plan on removing people who shouldn't be here, and how we can take Canada back for the Canadian people. If a government does not primarily function for the people of that country, it should not exist. It absolutely should not exist. And I understand people who are saying that they want to leave or they want to get out of Canada. I totally understand that belief. It's so frustrating what's going on in Canada. But at the same time, I think there's something nice about being part of the fight to take this country back, because in 20 and 30 years, when we look back, when our kids look back, it's not working for you. Sorry, guys. I'll resend it now. It should be working. I'm sure it's working. I've tested it out on a few occasions. The immigration policy. Let me know, guys, if you guys are having any issue getting to my immigration policy proposal. Please let me know. It's a 16-page PDF that I've just dropped in the chat again. Again, fantastic. We have 100 people in here. I know that we have a lot of momentum for this movement. If you haven't joined yet, I have pinned at the top of the chat the Fight for Canada Discord. The Discord is pinned at the top. Please, yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for downloading it. Please share it. It's a 16-page PDF at this point. Join the Discord. The Discord is up top because we need to start legitimately organizing. If I will give the Liberals credit for absolutely anything, it's that it's working for you. Okay, fantastic. This is awesome. Thank you so much for the support. God bless. Download it. Awesome. So it looks as though the download is working. I'll drop it in the chat one more time. It's our 16-page Fight for Canada PDF. Thank you so much, everybody who's dropped super chats. You guys are allowing me to put in 10, 12 hours a day to this. The guerrilla warfare tactics that are going to be necessary in this fight for Canada, because we are fighting against the entire mainstream media. The apparatus, the CBC receives $1.5 billion a year. Oh yeah, and Zita, now that you mentioned joining the army, the Liberal Party of Canada just recently announced that they are now bringing mercenaries in because they can't recruit anybody. They're 15,000 people short of military members, and they're bringing mercenaries in. Yes, we do need a Nick Shirley. Absolutely. And I was on the front lines covering, for those of you who covered it, who saw me, I was on the front lines covering these hate rallies in our streets for 2.5 years, fake body bags on the streets, the most disgusting chants, death to Canada you've ever seen, with police protection. You're exactly right. They were enemy combatants on our streets reporting on that. So join the Discord. And what I want to do is figure out, because I am sure in Canada, we have the exact same type of government abuse that Nick Shirley uncovered in Minnesota. Absolutely. There's absolutely not a doubt in my mind that we in Canada have the exact same type of abuse that we see in Minnesota, with new arrivals stealing billions of dollars from Canadians. So we'll talk about it in the Discord, but if anybody is actually aware of any active programs that are being scammed by new arrivals, please let me know, because this is what I'm dedicating my life to. This is what I want to cover. Is the scams that are going on. And I'm sure with the amount of woke lunatics that we have in our government right now, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty that the scams that we saw in Minnesota are going on throughout Canada right now. With that floozy Justin Trudeau and now Mark Carney, it's 100% certain. And I'm not sure how many of you guys saw this, but Anita Anand, who's a total clown, she was not even notified by the Mexican government of what was going on with the cartels. And I did some digging. And you know why that is? It's because Canada in the international community is literally looked at as a subsidiary of China. We are looked at as a subsidiary of China. We are not to be trusted with valuable intel. My name's Zachary McCrae. We are we are not to be trusted with valuable intel in this country because we're a bunch of commies, because they know that our government is owned by China, owned by the CCP. Mark Carney is going to allow in 50,000 EVs that are Chinese spy cars. Chinese spy cars. He's going to allow them into the country. We already know that China is up in the Arctic Circle in massive numbers, and the government of Canada refuses. Guys, thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the super chats. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's 100% correct. But they don't even pass intel on to us in Canada because they look at us as a subsidiary of China. We're being sold out by communists. It's like when you go to China, you're not surprised that you're in a communist country. But in Canada, that's what we are becoming. We are becoming, you import millions of Chinese, millions of Indians, millions of people from the Middle East who believe in Sharia law. That's what this country is going to become. This country is going to, if we continue to allow these millions of people in, Sharia law is coming to Canada. Are people blind? I've seen these hate rallies up close. Are people blind? People are telling us what they want to be. Do they think the 2 million Muslims who have recently entered Canada are just here to take part? No, they scream about, yeah, China's probably less dysfunctional. I'll bet you anything you're right. But they scream about minority rights. They scream about minority rights as long as they're minority. Notice in any of the 55 Muslim majority countries, you don't hear anything about minority rights. It's their way or the highway. If you go to any of the 55 majority Muslim countries, it's their way or the highway. You follow their rules or you end up in jail. But then they show up in Canada and there's, God bless you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for the support. God bless. It means so much to me. But they show up in Canada and then they start yelling about minority rights. But I can guarantee you with 100% certainty, in 10 years, when the country has gone to 5 million Muslims, I can guarantee you, God bless, I can guarantee you there will be no talk of minority rights. And the Western values, whether they admit it or not, Canada was built on Christian values. Canada was built on Roman law. Canada was built on Greek philosophy. These are the fundamental pillars of our civilization. It's a simple fact. That's what the West was built on. The West was built on freedom of expression. And now we invite millions of people in who have the exact opposite values. It's so funny when you see these liberals cheering on, inviting millions of Muslims into the country. It's like, aren't you for women's rights? Do you have any idea what it's like to be a woman in a Muslim country? Go hold your pride parade in Iran, in Iraq. You literally will not be around the next day. You literally won't. Your pride parades that you want to have, that you claim should be the basis of our society. If our country continues to allow millions of people in from these cultures, you won't be allowed to anymore. Go to there are 55. Aquaman, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Your super chats allow me to put the work in. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder, if you want to grab some gear, get our message out there and help support. There's awesome hoodies. I've just designed a couple of new ones on reclaimcanada.ca. Go shop now, the gear. Overlord Oligarch Carney, Trudeau. There's some great gear if you're interested in supporting, donating. Reclaimcanada.ca. Thanks. Thank you so much. But what we are seeing in Canada is if we continue at these immigration levels, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind we are going to see Sharia law in pockets of Canada, and then there's going to be no more pride parades. It absolutely has to be done. We are calling for a total. Teresa 450, thank you so much. Teresa 450, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's a cancer on our society. And I followed these people. For those of you people who haven't been following me for too long, I got up close to these hate rallies for literally 2.5 straight years. And these people are chanting death to Canada. They want to bring Sharia law to Canada. And that's exactly what, if we don't stand up and do something, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. We are going to get Sharia law in Canada. For those of us who know teachers, who know young people, you go into a Canadian classroom and there's like 2 white kids. It's insanity. It's absolutely insanity. What do you think the country's going to look like in 5 to 10 years when you go into classrooms right now and it's all Indian kids and new arrivals from the Middle East? Like this country is going to cease to exist. Do you want to live in a Muslim majority country? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that all the wokies, what they should do is they should go move there. We would offer them, if Fight for Canada was elected, we would offer free flights. We will pay for them. Go move to the Middle East, to your Muslim majority country of choice. Hold your pride parade and send us a video. Hold your pride parade in your Muslim majority country and then send us the video and let us know how it went. Seriously, let us know how it went. You're going to have a really good time. Yeah, you woke morons who talk about how we need to be accepting and it's so xenophobic and racist to point out the insanity of importing millions of militant Muslims into the country. It's like, no, go to one of those countries and host your woke pride parade. What do you think happens to a transsexual in Iran, in Palestine? Yeah, exactly. We do need to rent ICE for a year or two. We're speaking the truth. These people are absolute morons. They have no idea what they're talking about. Whenever countries go and become Muslim majority, Sharia law comes in, they scream about minority rights until they become a majority, and then it's their way or the highway. Canada was built on Christian values, Roman law, Greek philosophy. It has nothing to do with Islam. It has absolutely nothing to do with Islam. When Mark Carney gets out there and says, oh, Muslim values are Canadian values, it just goes to show you what an absolute clown Mark Carney is. Yes, we need ICE in Canada. That's why, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to drop it in the chat again. For those of you who just arrived, our 16-page immigration policy proposal, I've just dropped it in the chat. We will be diverting $2 billion in funds for detention centers and Canada's version of ICE, and we will be deporting everybody on an expired visa. There in all likelihood are millions of people in Canada right now who are on expired visas, as well as the people who came into this country on these totally fake asylum claims, because there were so many so-called asylum claimies while Justin Trudeau was prime minister that were total BS. I don't think Carney speaks for any Canadian. And the crazy thing about Carney is he had never been elected dog catcher in Canada. Carney had never been elected anything in Canada. He had never been elected anything in Canada. And now all of a sudden he's the prime minister. Yes, we need the equivalent of Tom Holman in Canada. That's exactly what we need. For those of you who haven't jumped in, jump in the Discord. I pinned up top. I'll send it in again to the chat. There's a pinned Discord up top, because we need to start getting organized. Fight for Canada is looking for people who are interested in joining this movement in a very serious way. Running in races, we need a Tom Holman in Canada. We need a Stephen Miller in Canada. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much for saying great channel. Thank you so much for everybody who sent super chats. Thank you so much, everybody who supports Fight for Canada. What we need to do, this is a serious political movement, and the biggest part of what we're doing is shifting the Overton window, the debate on immigration. We need to have a moratorium. Thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate it. We need a total moratorium on immigration in this country, and we need removals of people who are here illegally. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you signed up for a 2 or a 3 year visa and it is expired, get out. It's not rocket science. If I went to any country on a 2 or a 3 year visa, where the heck do people get off? Where do people get off thinking that they can come here on a 2-3 year visa and then they can just say when it expires, I get to stay as long as I want? Are you kidding me? Like, is this an absolute joke? Why does the law only apply to native-born Canadians and not apply to new arrivals? Mark Carney is currently attempting to pass the most extreme anti-free speech bills that we've ever seen in Canada. Bill C8, Bill C9, Bill C63, they literally want to set up something called the Digital Safety Commission with 10 unelected bureaucrats and an ombudsman that can put you under house arrest, confiscate your weapons, and put you in jail, not for anything that you've said, but if another person reports that they think you are likely to say something hateful in the future. So essentially what they are going to say is that if you criticize immigration in any way in Canada, that is hate speech. That's what the Liberal Party of Canada is doing. They don't want to remove anybody here illegally. They don't want to enforce the border. They want to kill off Canadians with MAID. It's probably now 40 to 50,000 Canadians dying from MAID, and they want to make it illegal to criticize their border their border policies. They literally want to make it illegal. Illegal. Hell no. Canadians demand a total moratorium on immigration for the next 5 years. Canadians demand deportation of the people who are here illegally. Canadians demand total removal of these phony baloney immigrant programs that have billions of dollars paid out to people who shouldn't receive it. $3,000 a month to come to Canada. It's a total joke. It has nothing to do with racism. Another reminder, I'm going to send the link in the chat again, guys. If you're serious about joining the Fight for Canada party, if you're serious about making this movement real, join the Discord. Thank you so much to everybody who sends a super chat. Helps me put in the 10, 12 hours a day of work a day. Really appreciate everybody who's live in the chat. Thank you so much. I want to turn this into a regular thing. I want to start doing lives on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday nights at 7 p.m. I'll be sending more information into the Discord. But that's my plan. My plan is to do this 3 nights a week so we can actually start mobilizing, start organizing together, because I know there are millions of Canadians, who feel the exact same way. MAID is a national disgrace. MAID is an absolute national disgrace in this country. It is now killing between 40 and 50,000. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. It is now killing between 40 and 50,000 people a year, and they lag the stats. They lag the information by 2 years. They lag the information by 2 years. I kid you not. I kid you not. They lag the information by 2 years because so many people are being now killed by MAID. And you know what? It's 96% white people. It's 96% white people who are being taken out. I guarantee you it's not real sum. Yeah, he did. I believe he did. Thank you very much. I know the political solution is getting tougher and tougher to see, but what we need to do is continue to push the Overton window, open and open, make it a regular topic of conversation in Canada. A regular, awesome. Thanks for downloading Discord. Make it a regular topic of conversation and wear it as a badge of pride. I love it when somebody starts crying, these liberals, and say, "Oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're a xenophobe. Yada yada yada." I friggin' love it. Nobody cares anymore. In the year 2026, walk around Canada, literally nobody cares about being called a racist or a xenophobe anymore. I love it. I'm so glad when somebody calls me a racist or a xenophobe. I could give 2 damns. I could give 2 damns what anybody says. Wear it as a badge of honor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The Truth 999. Yeah, and great things are going on in Alberta. It's crazy right now. Yeah, I love haters. I love the haters. Absolutely. These woke clowns want to destroy this country. They'll call you an extremist when they want to give irreversible gender hormones to 12-year-olds. They'll say that you're the extremist when they support transsexuals. It's like, are you joking me? You're supporting transsexuals, all this degeneracy in our society, and you have the gall to come out and say that we are the extremists. Sign into the Discord. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, guys, let me know if you're having any issues. I'll keep posting the Discord all over the place. So pinned is the Discord. Here's the Discord. And I'm also going to drop in the 16-point immigration policy that I put together. There's the Discord link. And here's the 16-point Here's the 16. Thank you, Teresa. Really appreciate it. And there's the 16-page PDF that I put together. But in order to get this movement going, I need people who actually want to join the fight for Canada, support, and because we need to keep. There's obviously going to be absolutely nothing. There's going to be nothing on the mainstream media except calling us racists, extremists, yada yada yada, all that garbage. So we need an army. Odon, thank you so much. Thanks, Justin. Thank you very much. Yeah, we should be able to fit it on one page. I will make the policy. I will shorten up the policy and get it up on the website. Yeah, no, exactly. When people call you a brown shirt, yada, 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 these people have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. These people are living in a clown world, but that's what the current world we're living in is now with social media. And also people get very tough behind a keyboard. People get very tough behind a keyboard. People who would never say anything to your face in a million years, all of a sudden are getting extremely tough behind a keyboard. Yeah, no, the chat's fantastic. I'm going to start doing these lives much more frequently. So stay tuned. If you join the Discord, then I will be sending out notifications before I do lives. I want to start doing them 3 times a week at 7 p.m. These strategy sessions where we can figure out our smartest plan of attack. Obviously, there might not be an election for a small period of time, but we can organize the Fight for Canada party. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. And the Discord, Sarah, the Discord is linked up top. God bless you. Thanks, Justwood Dreams. Thanks. Yeah, exactly. The Discord is up top. So please, everybody, make sure that you are in the Discord. That's where I'm going to be relaying all of the most important information that I have. Thank you so much, everybody who has supported, everybody who's super chatted, all the 50 people who have grabbed gear so far. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it helps us get the message out more and more every day. If you can wear something on your shirt, if you can post something on social media, every little thing that you can do makes a difference. You know what I mean? There's no point of having this loser, whiny mindset of saying, oh, Canada's already gone. Oh, there's nothing that we can do about it. You know what I mean? That's just a loser mindset, in my opinion. Thank you so much, Sarah. That's just a loser mindset. What's the point of complaining about it? Yeah, we're obviously in a very bad situation. Canada in 2006, before Justin Trudeau, was obviously in a much better position than we are in 2026. I think that's beyond a shadow of a doubt. Just look around at the country. Look at what's going on. I have absolutely zero doubt that is true and that is the case. But there's no point in whining about it. Let's see what we can do. Let's get a moratorium on immigration right now. Let's send the people home who are here on expired visas. Thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate it. I love Albert. We can do this. You just need to have a positive attitude. Think of the spirit of the settlers who arrived in Canada. It was incredible. They showed up to the vast northern wilderness, the toughest terrain you could ever imagine, and they built this incredible civilization. That position in my situation, that situation was much tougher than the situation that we're in right now in Canada. We absolutely can take this country back. Is it going to be a tough fight? Absolutely. Yeah, I should get a mod for the chat. So join the Discord if you're interested, because that's when we can figure out like having a mod for these, because I would love that. Because we're going to get some loser troll wokies in here, some trends going on about crying about, oh, you're talking about immigration, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe. Get rid of these clowns. But to be honest with you, my mindset is I love it. Yeah, glory to Christ, God bless. My opinion is I love it. And you know what? They only get angry, they only get mad at people who are making an impact. You know what I mean? Like, you only get angry at somebody if what they're doing is annoying to you. If what they're doing isn't annoying to you, you don't care. So we know it's great that we're on when they're crying, oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're a sexist. You're a xenophobe. You know what I mean? That's we're taking their energy. Give me that hate. Like when I was at those hate rallies for the past 2.5 years and somebody gets in my face, I love it. Because first of all, they're going to do absolutely nothing. They'll do absolutely nothing to me. Second of all, I love the hate. Give me your energy. That just means I'm getting to you. Awesome, Danny. Thank you so much. Yeah. Make sure that you're signed up in the Discord so that we can I'm going to get moderators, obviously, for the discourse. Thank you so much, Sarah. That's fantastic. We are not far from racist. We're proud of our heritage. In any other country, thanks, bro. Thanks for saying you can help modding. In any other country, you would never hear in Japan if people want to keep. Why is Japan okay to keep for the Japanese? Iran is okay to keep for the Muslim people. It's only in Western countries. It's only in Canada. It's only in Canada that if you talk about Canada should be for the Canadian people, you call the racist and a xenophobe. No, it's basic self-preservation. I want this country to exist for my posterity. Like, it's called they call you a racist, they call you a xenophobe, and then as soon as they're the majority in the country, you see how we're going to be treated? Are you kidding me? We are going to be treated. We are going to be treated like absolute garbage in 5 years, in 10 years. Aquaman, thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, Aquaman. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for everybody who super chatted. My idea with this party is exactly that. We are going to become the Restore Britain Party of Canada. That's what we are going to do. We are going, sorry, nobody's comments should be blocked. I apologize. If anybody's saying their comments are being blocked, I'm not blocking any comments. The chat should be wide open. Eventually, I do want to get mods on these lives to be able to moderate. But right now, and obviously mods, people should be allowed to say what they want. I just don't want the woke trolls in here. You know what I mean? Because I know that we're going to get a bunch of woke trolls in here crying, bitching about it, going, and I just don't want that. But yeah, people should be allowed to say exactly what the hell they want. Again, the Discord is up top. That's where we're going to be organizing. I'm going to be running these lives now. We have spelled out, for those who haven't seen, I'm linking it there. It's called the Restoring Canadian Immigration Integrity Program. It's a 16-page program on what Canada's immigration program should be. Yeah, I'm not moderating anything. Anybody who's talking about any moderation in the chat, just so you're aware, I'm not moderating anything. There's no moderation on my end. If anybody is being moderated or not being allowed to speak, it's not me, it's YouTube. Just so anybody who's aware, who's complaining that they can't comment. Carney is absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I have left the Discord. The Discord chat is up top. Check out the Discord chat. I'm going to drop again for those who haven't seen the immigration policy. It's 16-page PDF. I do want to make it simpler, but the basics of it are a total moratorium on immigration, for the next 5 years. And a total removal, a creation of essentially the Canadian equivalent of ICE, and a total removal of the people who are here on expired visas. Yeah, I trust a rat more than Carney as well. Oh yeah, sorry, man. I don't know why. You should be able to comment on MAID. You should be able to comment on whatever the hell you like. Yeah, no, 100%. Really appreciate it, bro. I know this party's Fight for Canada is going to be the Canadian equivalent of the Restore Britain Party. And we are going to make a massive impact. We are going to shift the Overton window so far that the Conservative Party is going to have no choice but to adapt a total moratorium on immigration and removal of all people here on expired visas, or else they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. There's too many of us. There are way too many of us. That for the pathetic Conservative Party to be able to say, oh no, we don't need a moratorium, we still need to bring people in. No, we have more than enough talent in Canada. We do not need new people coming into the country right now. We need to be removing people. We don't need to be bringing more people in. You know what I mean? Like, in my estimation, it's an absolute no-brainer. So yeah, join the Discord. Yeah. For sure. No, 100%. Join the Discord. The Discord link is up there. Join the Discord. That's where we're going to be strategizing. I'm going to be doing these YouTube lives now multiple nights a week. And because we need a real party that's actually fighting for Canada, fighting for the Canadian people. As far as I'm concerned, the Conservative Party of Canada is quite frequently controlled opposition. You don't see them talking about a moratorium on immigration. You don't see them talking about the Canadian equivalent of ICE. You don't see them talking about the 2 million people in this country on expired visas. You don't see them talking about any of that. In a lot of ways, I do feel as though they are controlled opposition. There's so much to criticize the governments of the Liberal Party of Canada for. And I don't see Pierre Poilievre talking about the MAID program killing 40 to 50,000, 96% white Canadians a year. I don't see Carney talking about that at all. Poilievre talking about it at all. I don't see Poilievre talking about the fact that we're giving out these hormones to people as young as 12 years old, these irreversible hormones. Why are we hiring military from other parts of the world? Because, look, that's what authoritarians always do. They always bring in a mercenary army. They always bring in mercenary armies. And that's exactly what we're seeing in Canada. We're seeing the creation of a mercenary army in Canada. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and it needs to stop now. But we need to shift the discussion in this country to getting people out. That's what we need. We need removals from Canada. And a lot of the time, what the Conservatives say just strikes me as total controlled opposition. Controlled opposition, I mean, obviously they're not as bad as the Liberal Party of Canada. Don't get me wrong. The Conservatives aren't Mark Carney. I'd obviously rather that Pierre was PM than Mark Carney was. But their policies are and I've heard over 100,000 people have been taken out by MAID. I've heard nearly 100,000 people have been taken out by MAID. It's totally sick. It's sick. It's sick. It needs to stop. And if you join the Discord, we're going to be discussing. I want people running for the Fight for Canada party for me. I want people working with me on a day-to-day basis. I've submitted, the party application has been approved, but we need other senior party officials. I'm the head of the party, but we need other senior party officials, other people who are going to be running. So jump into that Discord. Make sure you're in the Discord. The key thing is make sure you're in the Discord. That's where we're going to have the true patriots who want to fight about. That's very interesting. You can't comment about MAID. Sorry about that. It's not me. That must be YouTube censoring. I can tell you right now, I'm not censoring anything. It wouldn't surprise me if MAID was talking about it. Canada doesn't even give the information on the last 2 years of MAID. We only know that 16,000 people were killed in 2023. We know, Alberta independence. We believe it's between 30 and 40,000 people in 2025, but we don't have numbers beyond that. We don't have numbers beyond that because the government of Canada blatantly, obviously tries to hide that information. And the craziest thing is, I got information about the fact that it was secret. A whistleblower passed on to me information about how that the government of Canada is funding to the tune of $550,000. Azita, I'll let you know in the Discord. I'll flesh that out in the roles in the Discord. Fantastic. No, that's fantastic. I will let you guys know the roles that I'm filling in the Discord, but I need roles filled for the Fight for Canada party, and I know people are very excited about it. But so I received documentation from a whistleblower that the government of Canada has spent $500,000 at Dalhousie University speaking to 12 to 17-year-olds on potential MAID for people with autism, people with disabilities, the sickest stuff you could ever hear of. The government of Canada is funding. And I got those documents. It was 11 total pages of documents. And ever since then, my phone's been acting finicky. So I think the government is tracking. You always know these liberals can't deal with opposition because they know how lunatic their policies are. So they need to shut people up. Yeah, I'm setting up a Discord. I have heard from some people that a Telegram might be a good way to go. But for right now, I should get a burner phone. You're exactly right. I know voting's going to be tough, but we need to do what we can. So jump in the Discord, guys. I am going to be doing now on multiple nights a week these lives. I agree. Danielle is more of a leader than PP, and Danielle's been fantastic on immigration recently. For those of you who haven't seen it, I highly suggest that you check out Danielle Smith's recent speech. She's been fantastic on immigration. She's been very good. She's been making some noises that I agree with 100%. She's absolutely a leader. I'm with you. My opinion, if it were up to me, I would rather Danielle Smith was the leader of the Conservative Party over Pierre. Like when Danielle Smith speaks about immigration, I agree with her a heck of a lot more than I agree with Pierre. Yeah, Danielle Smith, I'm with you guys 100%. Danielle Smith should run for prime minister in my estimation. Danielle Smith would have a lot of support. And I don't know what you guys think, but she's an excellent speaker. When I watch Danielle Smith speaks, she's very well spoken. She's done the research. She knows the facts. She can list off all the immigration numbers. She knows all the statistics about how bad our economy is. She comes across as very intelligent. I think that she could appeal to those kind of middle Canadians, partly because she's a female, to be honest with you. But I think that I would prefer Danielle over Pierre. That's just my opinion. But yeah, and we need thank you. Thanks so much. Just would really appreciate it. She worked. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So Danielle worked in radio for years. That makes a lot of sense to me. She's very well spoken. She comes across very well. And this is just my opinion. I think in front of a camera, Danielle Smith is better than Pierre. Pierre put out a video today on immigration, and to be honest, what do you guys think? I don't find that Pierre comes across that well on camera. I don't find him to be overly well spoken. He stumbles over his words sometime. I'm more of a Danielle Smith fan. I think that she would be a fantastic. Yes, Georgia Maloney is another one. I don't know about you guys. I feel like Georgia Maloney has aura. Like Georgia Maloney, yes. PP is scripted. That's a good way to talk about it. When I see PP talk, it strikes me very frequently as though he's almost like he's reading off of a script. You know what I mean? Whereas Danielle can speak off the cuff. She's a little bit quicker on the draw, in my opinion. But I don't hate Pierre. I certainly don't hate Pierre. But you're right. Pierre's another one of these guys. When you look at his history, he's never had a job outside of politics. He's never had a job outside of politics. He's been in politics his whole life. And I'm with you. I'm not saying he's obviously as bad as Carney and Trudeau, who are obviously stooges of the WF of Davos. But I don't fully trust PP because even when he speaks on immigration, I don't find that he never talks about a moratorium. He never talks about removals. It's all about making little changes here and there. You know what I mean? It's in my estimation, it's just not quite enough. So yeah, guys. So please, I'm gonna have to run soon. Please make sure you're signed up for the Discord. If you're interested in supporting Fight for Canada, check out reclaimcanada.ca. Grab some gear. I have some really great hoodies up that help send our message on a daily basis. Make sure that you are in the Discord. Please make sure that you're in the Discord because that's where we're going to be strategizing moving forward. And I want to start doing these lives 2 or 3 nights a week. So yeah, make sure you're in the Discord. If anybody hasn't had the opportunity to see it, I'm also going to drop the Restoring Canadian Immigration Integrity program. If anybody's interested in seeing our tentative immigration strategy, you can check it out. It's right in the chat right now. Is there anything specific that you guys wanted to talk about? My apologies, Ogloff. It's just it's also a little. It's a little. Thank you very much, guys. It's just like talking extemporaneously for a long period of time. Honest, we've been live for a while. It gets to after a little while, but I love this. I want to start doing this multiple nights a week. Please make sure you're in the Discord. Going to do this multiple times a week. We'll strategize there. And I'm thinking the next time I'm going to do this is going to be, just so everybody's aware right now, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I am going live again. That's the next time we'll be live is 48 hours from now, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Jump in the Discord. Make sure check out reclaimcanada.ca. Thank you so much to everybody who's super chatted. Thank you so much to everybody. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who's commented. Your support means the world to me. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. I'll be back. Thank you so much to everybody who's commented. And I'll talk to you guys really soon. God bless, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much.